Welcome to Mr. D.R. 2012. I'd first like to introduce our judges, Ms. Saxon, Ms. Enos, Ms. Payne, and Ms. Lemire. As many of you know, a birthday girl today. Give her a round of applause. And we'd also like to introduce our Master of Ceremonies, Mr. Antoni.
They said, we need somebody to host. We need somebody charismatic. We need somebody intrepid and dashing. And a little easy on the eyes. And instead they got me. Unfortunately true. And I don't know where Mr. Bragg is. I can't see him right now, but I need to ask him. Because Mr. Cute was the default host, as he always is. As is his reserved station. Yes, absolutely. But Mr. Cute couldn't make it. So Mr. Bragg asked me. And I have to ask Mr. Bragg a personal question while I'm here and say, what is it about my performance in the student versus faculty basketball game that made you think I was a suitable stand-in for a 60-year-old man? We'll handle that later on. So, a senior from Dayton. Some might say he looks like Rob Gronkowski, but if you ask him, he's way better looking. D-R.wmv. A senior from Rehoboth. When not competing in male beauty pageants, he can be found bagging and tagging at Trufie's. A senior from Rehoboth. He's tall, slender, and ready for whatever. Justin Vallejo. A senior from Dayton. He has the best dimples in town, Andrew Saloy. Junior. From Dayton. He's been to Europe and back. Evan Papp. A senior from Dayton. He enjoys the long walks in the hallways and skipping class. Jay Blair. Perfect looking, he just doesn't care. Senior from Rehoboth, he enjoys poking people on Facebook and collecting stray cats. And finally, a senior from Rehoboth. He enjoys tearing his ACL and throwing a long metal jab. Ethan Barry. That was just to whet your appetite for things to come. Our next portion is the sportswear competition. I like big sports. And an official Little League umpire. And perhaps most impressively, he works at Truby's. Located westbound on 44. Delicious. He is a semi-professional busboy at Crestwood Country Club with aspirations of one day going pro. We wish him the best of luck with that. Cross-country runner, spring track athlete, front-end associate at Hannaford Supermarket. Who is this Adonis? Why, Evan Papp. That's who. baseball team. He also umpires and landscapes, and he stays in shape between seasons with those aforementioned long walks at the hall. Captain of this year's golf team and is also involved in DECA and Best Buddies. Looking like that, who wouldn't want to be this guy's buddy?
Wait till I get my
Dan Carroll is a part of this year's football team and is also a part of this year's spring track team. He is the shining personality of your favorite morning television program, D-R.wmv, as well as a professional pizza artist in the Hogan House of Pizza. Recently, and you might not know this, recently knighted Finland for giving its denizens their only source of hope during their 30 consecutive days of night. His smile. I guess that's Ethan Barrett is a captain of this year's football team, as well as a captain of this year's spring track team. He is a Francis Palmer aficionado, one face of D-R.wmv, and a future San Diego State Youth Aztec. Go Aztecs! Make your silver god of creation, but some proud. And if you thought that us guys up here are just pretty faces, well, you'd be wrong. Maybe part right, but part wrong. Because we've also got a talent section. And I think you'll find that this talent section is, well, interesting to say the least. A lot of guys went above and beyond their comfort zone to present you with the best possible show. And I'll warn you, we've been required to, in addition to giving you the fire exits, we've been required to say that if there are any people in this auditorium right now with a heart condition, you may want to leave because it's going to get hot. So, first and foremost, we have the AJs with Adam, Andrew,
to keep me from getting to you, babe. My love is alive, way down in my heart, although we are miles apart. If you ever need a helping hand, I'll be there on the double just as fast as I can. 'Cause don't you know that there ain't no mountain high enough? to keep me from getting to you, babe. Oh.
Evan is going to be playing 100 years on the piano. Our next act is the only act. They actually got a special dispensation from the male beauty pageant. The male beauty pageant, what's the official licensing body of the male beauty pageant? I don't even know. But they had to write into the state of Massachusetts and say, we want to do two talents. And we thought that was highly unorthodox. We thought it was highly unorthodox, but the state granted that dispensation. And here you are. We have Jake and Ben with 2 talents.
Well, for our first talent, I'm going to need a special guest, so...
Ms. Lemire? I can't even look at you right now, you're so gorgeous.
For all of you who didn't know, thank you very much. Today is Miss Lemire's birthday, so I think we should start off by singing Miss Lemire a happy birthday. 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Miss Lemire.
classic Make a Man Out of You from Mulan.
Hello, here we go. Well, this is a little song me and Dan wrote back in 1998 for the movie Mulan. Some of you may know it. Let's do it.
All right, here we go. Socially acceptable and FDA acceptable levels. Because what we have next for you is the formal wear.
This is how we do it.
Seriously. Every contestant gets 2 questions. Questions that hopefully should give you some penetrating insight into the type of person they are beneath that beautiful exterior. So Adam, what are the things in life that make you smile?
The things in life that make me smile. Well, all the beautiful faces in front of me, of course, right now. But especially all the wonderful teachers I see in Dayton with every day, like Mrs. Payne, Miss Lemire, Miss Saxon, Miss Enos, and everyone else. And you, Miss Sarantani.
But wait, there's more. As a child, what was your favorite stuffed animal? And please, don't let it be a real animal that you throttled with your hands because you're such a mountain of a person. Because, well, that's just only going to serve to confirm my physical inferiority.
Don't let my size fool you. I'm very friendly. But my favorite stuffed animal, that's easy. So I had this bear. Name was Rainbow Bear, yes. I slept with Rainbow Bear every night. And in 5th grade, I took it to school one day because me and Rainbow Bear, see, we were inseparable. And sorry, sir. I'll never forget. These bullies, they took Rainbow Bear away from me. And that today is why I'm so firmly against bullying. Yeah.
Powerful PSA. James, if you could invite one person from history to dinner, who would you invite and why?
Oh, geez, laugh a little bit. If I could invite one person from history, I think, someone that's made an incredible impact on my life has been the new guidance counselor this year. Her name's Jessica Payne. She's sitting up front here. I'm just going to give you a little background about her. She's an amazing person. She's great, and if I could be with her all the time, I think I might, but I don't know. So I think she would be the person. Yeah.
Many in the crowd must be wondering at this point, is he as beautiful on the inside as he is on the outside? To that end, James, when was the last time you cried?
Last time I cried. Let's see here. Well, all right, I'm just gonna say, last week we had an enormous pre-cal test. It was a big chapter test, and Miss Enos is my teacher. And the thing that happened was, I sat in the back of the room. It's nice back there. There's no one back there. I had a big sheet of the answers, and she never knew, obviously. Well, now she knows. But she never knew about it. So I ended up getting home, and it was just weighing me down. It was really bad. My conscience was like, I couldn't think of anything more. So I cried for about 6 to 8 hours until I went to bed. And I think, yep, that's the last time I cried. I'm sorry, Miss Enos, but did I get a 93 on it? I did get a 93.
While on the subject of math, Justin. Justin, if you have 10 pounds of feathers and 10 pounds of steel, which weighs more? Which weighs more?
Oh, this one's easy.
I mean, a common man would say that the feathers weigh less. But then again, the common man may say the steel weighs less. I am no common man.
So you're going to answer the question. He's got a career in politics. So Justin, if you could talk to somebody who inspired you, sit them aside and tell them exactly what they've done for you, an unsung hero in your life maybe, who would it be? What would you tell them?
Well, this person is so special to me. Every period to agree day, I come to you and I say, Miss Enos, how was your day? I bet it was as fantastic as mine, due to the fact that I'm looking at you right now. I would sit her down and I'd say, Miss Enos, I love you. You mean so much to me that I think, no, I know, I would do anything for you. And I also can't wait until I do that yard work that I owe you, because I got a detention, and I know I owe you some things like hard labor, unfortunately.
He's honest. Andrew, look at Sharp. Andrew, what are the top 5 things that you can do with a stapler that doesn't have any staples in it?
Well, that's an awfully tough question.
If I could do 5 things with a staple that I would not use for paper, I would staple Jake Larimore to the wall, as he did with the stool in art class. I would also staple him to the ground so he couldn't walk around the halls and skip class. And to be honest, I don't really know what else I would do with staples besides staple a math packet together or something.
Well, let me tell you, I can understand why you're a little bit flustered about the question is difficult, but I also know that there's somebody that's very special to you in the audience today. Somebody very special. So I want to know, Andrew, if you could say one thing to your sister right now. What would it be?
If I could say one thing to my sister sincerely, I would say, Heather, I love you. And if you grow up to be half the person that our mother is, you will be a beautiful person.
What's one thing that you would change?
I'd actually change nothing, because everything right now is as perfect as I want it to be. So.
Well, Evan, what's the proudest moment of your life been, up until this point?
I'd say probably the proudest moment was moving here and meeting all these great people. I mean, sure, I'm a junior and most you're gonna boo me anyways, but hey, I'm up here, I'm I'm the only junior, and that's all I see.
Mr. Brown. All right. Jake. It's only a matter of time this will happen, but if Hollywood makes a movie of your life, whom would you like to see play the lead role as you?
Well, considering no one has my stunning good looks or just as awesome or well-rounded a person as I am, you know, Mr. Antoni, you know who I'd pick? I think I'd just let you do it. I mean, I don't think anyone can make me look smarter than you. I mean, best vocab in DR, right here. Need a word? He's your guy.
You can contact my agent. We'll set something up. But let me ask you a serious question, Jake. Curious. Affects millions of Americans every day. If you're driving down the road on your way to school, and you saw a puppy dying, what would you do? Knowing that stopping means being late, and knowing that you'd be in line for disciplinary measures, but also knowing that if you do not act, that puppy will die a sad puppy death.
Well, unfortunately, Mr. Antoni, as many of us know, I don't have the pleasure of driving to school. But we're not going to get into that. Another time, another day. But so far, you know, I didn't crack. I think since if I'm going to be late to school, I couldn't afford stopping. So I'd probably just, you know, open my door and just give a fellow swoop to the puppy as I drive by, put it right down on my lap, and you know, I don't know about everyone else, but am I the only one who keeps a bottle of milk in my glove compartment? So I'd probably feed it that bottle of milk and nurse it back to health. Absolutely.
Ben, if you only had 6 months left to live, what would you do at that time?
That's an easy question, Mr. Antoni. It is. Well, I would spend every day, every minute, every second telling these 4 judges how much I love them. Thank you, Stephanie. Yes, telling them how much I love them, how much I care, and they have all inspired me not to be teachers and guidance counselors and gym teachers. If that's a teacher, right? Yeah. It is. I stated it was a teacher, but not to be a teacher, but to be their lovers for the rest of my 6 months of remaining of my life.
All right. Well, then Ben, that was definitely answered. I was impressed with that. Let me ask you. Given the various nuclear non-proliferation agreements that the international community has persistently championed as a way to assuage international tension, Iranian President Ahmadinejad's insistence on arming his military with ICBMs and nuclear warheads is particularly distressing in this modern era. My question, sir, is about ice cream. If you could be any flavor, what would you be in mind?
Well, I knew the answer to the first one, so I'm gonna have to think about it for the second one. Wow. I'd have to say mint chocolate chip. Does anyone here like mint chocolate chip? And I'll tell you why. Because I like to keep it minty and fresh. And come on, who doesn't like chocolate? Who doesn't like chocolate? Mr. Anani likes chocolate.
Good job, man. Next, previously mustachioed champion, Dan, if someone wrote a biography about you and your life, what would the title be?
Well, I believe the most important part of a book is the title, because I go against what everyone says, and I do judge books by their cover. So, it would have to be something along the lines of Dan Carroll, awesome. Keep it short and sweet. Next question.
Well, my next question, in addition to being a good English teacher, adequate English teacher, I'm a gorgeous dork. I want to know about superheroes and superpowers. So in addition to your obvious superhuman good looks, if you could have one superpower for one day, what would it be? Why? And what would you do with it?
Well, aside from my very timely facial hair growth, I would probably have the ability of time control, because that would give me the time and means to make every one of you in this room have a nice day every single day, including these 4 spectacular women. And also I would rob a couple banks, but who wouldn't?
All right, Ethan. Is your GPA reflective of your potential? Why or why not?
My GPA reflective of my potential. Well, I don't really know how GPAs have potential, but being an honor student, I would have to say no, because my grade does not consist of a D and an R. Therefore, it is not living up to my potential.
Very clever. Well then, Nathan, while you're best known for breaking your body in awful, if hilarious ways, describe to us a time when your heart's been broken.
Well, Mr. Antoni, I don't have an answer for that question yet, but I can tell you when I will have an answer for that question. And the date is June 4th. And that is when I will leave this lovely establishment known as Dighton Road High School. And my heart will forever be broken, because no place in the entire world will fill my heart like Dighton Road. Thank you.
Close. I see the judges deliberating feverishly. It's not easy taking time. We're going to invite our contestants up to give one last shout out and explain why they, not anybody else, should be Mr. D.R. 2012. So Adam, why don't you come up and tell them very quickly why you deserve this crown. That was for me.
Yeah. Well, I truthfully think we all deserve this crown, because it seems like everyone here is enjoying the show. Are you not? But why I deserve the crown more than anyone else? Well, see, if I were to win and given these free prom tickets, I wouldn't take them. Nope. I know our budget as a senior class is kind of hard, so I would pay the money just to make it a little easier on everyone else's pocket. So I don't want to make the vote for you, but hey, I'll do that.
His generosity knows no bounds. James, come up here. Tell these people why you know you deserve to be Mr. D.R. 2012.
Jesus. I think that I should be Mr. DR because I feel like I might represent all of us as one. And we all have, to be honest with you, I might not answer the question because this is a little thing I just want to say here, but I feel like we've worked very hard, all of us, and we've put a lot of time into this. And I feel that we should all be Mr. DR because I feel like this is a great group of guys. We're all kind of unique in our own way, and I hope that we were able to show you guys kind of what we're all made of, you know, with some booty shaking and some dancing, some singing. So, yeah, but if I am Mr. DR, that'd be lovely. I'd love some free prom tickets. They are going to be $140, well, for two. But I think I'm going all alone. But yeah, so we'll see. We'll see how that goes. And yeah, but thank you very much, everyone. Seriously.
Chelsea. Remind these loyal subjects why you deserve to be their king.
I wouldn't refer to myself as a king. Just look at me. No, but on the real, shout out, mi familia. Love you very much. All of you are my family. Especially my second aunt once removed. After that one, Missy knows herself. Everybody. You know what I'm saying? It's her nephew. And then I'd like to thank people like James. I know James has worked hard getting us these free tuxedos and everything, and I know we're looking fly. Why should I be Mr. DR? I don't care if I'm Mr. DR. Just as long as someone gets it that deserves it. Thank you.
Andrew. Take a breath, compose yourself. Love your sister. The crowd loves you. Tell them why they should love you a little bit more.
Well, as you may know, I do have one of the nicest sets of blue eyes you've ever seen. That, along with dimples, has gotten me very far in life. So I don't see stopping at a loss for Mr. DR, so I think I should win. Boom.
Evan, look these people in the eye, collective eye. Tell them why you deserve to be Mr. DR 2012.
Well, I know most of you probably don't want me to, considering I'm the only junior. And the last time we had this was 4 years ago, and that was because of a junior. So, and I'm pretty sure I'll want this to happen again. But if I were to win, I'd want to, based on the fact that it pisses off Melanie Lorenz. Because, like Mr. Bragger even says, if I were to win, I'd need to get the tickets, and according to Melanie, it's not in the budget. But like everyone else has already said, everyone has done a great job. Everyone's talents were great beyond what we expected, and I just think if we could, everyone should win.
Jake, you rescued that puppy, but you stole their hearts. Why do you deserve to be Mr. DR 2012?
Well, Mr. Matani, you posed a great question.
question. But before we get into why I should be Mr. DR, just picture yourself, a stranger out on the street. Driving by, you're like, hey, there's a school. I think I might go in. You walk in the front doors, who's the first person you're gonna see? You're gonna see me walking around the hallway. I'm gonna say what's up, make you feel at home. You know, might see Mr. Braga right next to me walking me. I could go on for days, maybe weeks, of why I should be Mr. DR. But I'm gonna leave you with one question. I don't need you to answer it, just ponder it in your mind for a little bit. Why shouldn't I be Mr. DR?
Inform these people why you're the choice.
Well, first of all, I'd like to thank all the peer leaders and everyone for doing a good job for setting this up again. You know, it's been a while since this competition has been in here, and I'd like to thank all of them. Everyone, Mr. Patel for the sound, thank you. We're all like brothers, you know. Swear in the brotherhood, you know, never break that. We're all strong, we're all together. Back there, we got in a huddle. It's a great moment. We're in a huddle, and we discussed that tonight wasn't a competition, but that we were just gonna go out there and just have fun. You know, it's our senior year. Evan, this your junior year. And we're just gonna go out there and have fun. So I think, but besides that, why I should be Mr. DR? I don't know. I think I feel like I could symbolize the school very well. I feel like I could bring the Dighton and Rehoboth to the play. Even though I am from Rehoboth. Yeah. But I can also bring the Dighton. I can bring the Dighton. And that's why.
You had a fine mustache a moment ago. Yeah, that's it. Give these people a fine reason. Something to remember you by. Why should you be Mr. DR 2012?
Well, for one reason, I already told my mom I won, so I kind of just make it really weird if I lost. But aside from that, I as well feel like I embody the DR spirit very well. That's about it. I'd like to thank all the parents in here, because they are awesome parents. But anyway, I would also like to ask Casey Leo to come to prom with me. Do we have an answer?
Yeah, I guess.
Thank you, DR.
It's going to be hard to top that, but if anybody can, these are two. Tell them why. Tell them why. Say it like you mean it.
Well, I really don't know how to top that. Yeah, that was awesome. Let's give it up again. That was awesome. But some of you may or may not know I actually had surgery a few months ago, and the doctor came back with two good news. The surgery went fine. He looks me right in the eyes. He goes, "Ethan, I don't know how you're gonna take this, but your blood is green and gold." I don't know if that's gonna help, but I just want to thank everybody. I would also like to get another round of applause
time that you will be able to influence the judges as an audience. You have somewhat of a say. So what we like to do, we're going to call each individual by name. They're going to stand up. And if that's your Mr. DR 2012, you need to let these judges know. Adam, stand up. What do you got for me? James, take their wallet. Drink it all in, Justin. Drink it all in. Andrew, Dimples, one more time. Evan, classic. You're winning some fans. You're winning some fans. Jake. Ben. Dan. Lastly, Ethan. Judges, I think you know what to do. But while they deliberate amongst each other, we have a treat for you, which is DR Street Beat will be performing. Gentlemen. D.R. Street Beat. Give a round of applause. Now, the moment of truth. Gentlemen, come out. Meet your fates. Close. Nail biter. I can see why the judges left. There's going to be a lot of heat. That's okay. They should have left. Judges, you did a great job. After much deliberation, in third place, James. Second place, Andrew. Mr. D.R. 2012. I gotta make sure I have this right. Hold on. Alright. Mr. D.R. 2012. Justin Blake.
Thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate it. Thank you. I've worked hard. We've all worked hard. And this crown, it doesn't belong to me. But I'll take it anyway.
And as has been consistently true throughout history, behind every 9 great men, 2 far more impressive women. We'd like to bring Melanie Lorenz and Brooke Renaud out. Thank you. And we'd like to thank all of you for being an amazing audience. I think as parents, you know what special kids you have. As teachers, we know what special students we have. And as peers, you know what special friends you have in this school. Be thankful. You guys are amazing. Give it up one more time. Have a beautiful night.
I don't think he's here, but Pete Marriott, he donated these tuxes. As you can tell, I think we're all looking very sharp tonight, and he was a big help. So everyone that needs tuxes, go down to Pete at Tuxedos by Marriott in Taunton, right in the green. You'll find